24 minutes past the hour. Time for your news by the numbers. First, 600. That's the number of Boeing 737s the FAA wants checked out because of a possible mechanical problem with tail flaps. The issue was raised after one jet reported severe vibrations midair and had to make an emergency landing earlier this month. Next, 1 zillion. I didn't even know that was a real number, but that's what environmentalists say are the chances of seeing this all-black penguin. National Geographic spotted the rare bird during a trip to Antarctica, and again, that's 1 in 1 zillion. And finally, $211.7 million. That's how much money one lucky winner in New Jersey won in a Powerball lottery after matching all 5 numbers.
Okay guys, it's time to come clean.
Introducing new Perfect Clean from L'Oreal. Our first deep pore cleanser with the super soft scrublet. Just pop it out, pour it on. It's the Deep Pore 360 Cleanse that removes dirt, oil and makeup. For cleaner skin and smaller looking pores.
I love it.
A new sensation.
Now it's your turn to come clean.
New Perfect Clean from L'Oreal Paris.
Because we're worth it.
Let me make something perfectly clear. We are injury lawyers for you. We're real lawyers. We deal with personal injury claims. We are tried, tested, and trusted throughout the UK. And we work for you. So if you've been injured and you're looking for 100% of the compensation you deserve, well, you know what to do. If you've been injured and it wasn't your fault, call Injury Lawyers for You on 0845 345 4444 for free, honest advice. We are Injury Lawyers for You. 100% lawyers, 100% compensation.
The more your little ones move around, the more important it is for them to feel the gentle softness of Fairy Non-Bio Gel next to their skin. Fairy Non-Bio Gel, softening your world.
Long-standing tradition at a high school in Indiana, students vote on whether or not they want to have a prayer at graduation. Well, this year, the majority voted yes, they do want the prayer. But the valedictorian says absolutely no way and is now suing his school. We're joined now by Fox News religion correspondent Father Jonathan Morris and criminal defense attorney Jennifer Bonjean, who also does civil rights work as well. So thanks for being with us. Jennifer, I'll start with you because the majority of these students, they voted yes, they do want it, which is how a democracy works. But you're saying this violates the Supreme Court's interpretation of the Constitution.
That's right. Just because there's a majority vote doesn't mean you can violate the Constitution. You can't, NYPD can't have all of their officers vote that we can now beat suspects into giving confessions and then it's okay to do it. The Constitution's there for a reason, and it's precisely because the minority is not being protected, the minority voice is not being protected, that it is constitutional.
What does the Constitution say about religion? It says it shall not establish one religion over another, and there should be no law passed to prohibit the free exercise of religion.
Right.
Which just sounds to me like free exercise of religion.
Well, it protects. The Established Clause is meant to protect and secure religious liberty. The flip side is that is the right not to have to engage in an act of worship if somebody finds it personally offensive. It's meant to protect all of us. Now, would you have the same point of view? Would you have the same point of view if the student body said, you know what, we want to do an Islamic prayer?
Absolutely. If it's an Islamic community and if they decide together that they want, absolutely.
Jennifer, let me ask you this. Why is it in this situation and in many situations we've seen and we've covered here at Fox News that there is one student who has a problem with it and everyone else is punished when the majority wants?
Well, first of all, it's not clear that it's one student who's punished. That is.
But it is clear that the majority did vote. The majority,
because, like I said before, that's precisely the problem. In a recent U.S. Supreme Court decision that came down in 2000, it was almost an identical policy that was struck down as unconstitutional, violative of the Establishment Clause. And the one thing the U.S. Supreme Court said is that the minority is at the mercy of the majority. That's the problem with it, because those people should not have to choose whether to attend their graduation or run the risk of being personally offended by a religious ritual.
Could they compromise here? Could they do something like a moment of silence or something like that?
Well, you know, that gets a little closer, but this is really patently unconstitutional because they're not even they're not even proclaiming that it has a secular purpose.
You know, I don't, and this is a sincere question. I know you do civil liberties law. Why do people get so offended when they hear a prayer? Like why do they feel like somehow they are being forced to worship? I mean, I have people in my church who sit there all the time, kids who are not being forced to worship. They're there, they're listening.
We gotta go. So
yeah, well, I mean, I can't understand. I don't understand people's personal views on it, but I know what the Constitution says.
Herbal Essences brings you another great escape. The land of pampered hair. Sublime silk, red raspberry extracts, creamy conditioner, pampering right to the tips. So nourishing, my ends are flourishing. Oh, hello. Going my way? New Beautiful Ends collection from Herbal Essences. Fantasies may vary.
40 degrees. A nice warm temperature that detergents like to perform at. But there is a detergent that's more than happy to brave the cold. Persil's Small and Mighty. Small cap, mighty effective from as low as 15 degrees.
Excuse me, which tube is it for Euston Station?
The eustachian tube connects the ears to the back of the throat.
Which line?
A vertical line dress can enhance your figure.
No, I just need the underground.
Underground dungeon. Underground hip-hop.
Do fairies live underground?
Brian Ferry.
Oh, for crying out loud!
The mating cry of the howler monkey.
Next time you're searching online, try Bing.com, the decision engine from Microsoft.
Mr. Muscle's Super Scientist.
Block sinks are such hard work. Mr. Muscle!
That's right. Mr. Muscle's Sink and Drain Gel. There's nothing thicker. It powers through the water and blasts the blockage away.
Wow. Thanks, Mr. Muscle.
No, thank you.
Mr. Muscle, I need help.
Gotta go. Mr. Muscle's Sink and Drain Gel. It's the science of tough cleaning. Try Mr. Muscle first. It's cheaper than a plumber.
If you had to pick your biggest bugaboo about airline travel, the thing you hate the most, and you had to weigh in on what that is, what would it be?
Baggage fees. Baggage fees and baggage fees.
Okay.
First, second, and third.
Dave, I think, doesn't like baggage fees. What about you?
Well, I don't like now that they're... the baggage fees made me mad, and then they're making you pay for snacks, and if you want to pick a premium seat, even in coach.
Well, that's what a new poll says about picking seats. Overwhelmingly, Dave, bags weren't the problem. Picking seats, paying extra for a little bit of extra leg room was the #1 problem. And we like these guys. Airfarewatchdog.com. We've had them on the show. These guys do a good job. They polled nearly 2,000 people and found out that was the biggest problem.
What?
I'll tell you
Who are
why.
these 2,000 people? You pay
Because,
25 and 30 bucks a bag.
I'll tell
But
you why.
that is by far the worst thing the airlines
No,
are
I
doing.
agree. I agree. Everyone was mad about that, but we're over that now. Now they're tacking
Who
on all these
is?
extra fees. Okay, we can deal
Because
with that, right?
Here's why I deal with that. Yeah, let me say that. Here's why I deal with that. Because it sort of forces you to be a little bit more thoughtful about how much space you're bringing on the airplane, right? So that's on your personal thing. Don't pack your extra hair dryer.
You're not going to convince me, man.
Okay, I'm trying. Don't pack the extra hair dryer.
It's harder for you, too.
You buy a seat on a plane. You buy a seat on a plane. You pay a fee. That should be standard across the board. Why are you going to pay more because you're 6'5"?
I like old movies. I like old movies. Like Godfather 3. Like Godfather 3. It's not considered the best one. It's not considered the best one. But that's just me. I'm somewhat impulsive. Somewhat impulsive. I laugh in my sleep. I laugh in my sleep. I don't wear makeup on weekends. I don't wake up on weekends. But that's just me.
Start your love story at Match.com.
News from Vileda.
Introducing the new Super Mochio with triple cleaning action. Its pick-up pockets and microfibers help clean up dirt and spills. While thanks to its red spot eraser, even the toughest spots disappear easily. You should try it.
The new triple action Super Mochio from Vileda.
don't just pour a Guinness. You bring it to life.